Welcome to the Knowledge Seeker channel. The channel is dedicated to exploring critical issues in the world. As such, this channel is not afraid to challenge existing beliefs and facts in order to contribute to the advancement of knowledge. Today's presentation is titled Jamaica, Nature's 37-year cycle of devastating super hurricanes, the wonders of nature. The purpose of this presentation is to achieve two goals. One, to examine the issue of whether there is a cyclical pattern in which hurricanes make landfalls in Jamaica. And two, determine whether the view that strong hurricanes tend to make landfalls in Jamaica every 37 years is verifiable or not. Note, it is difficult to believe that devastating hurricanes make landfall in Jamaica every 37 years, considering that the country has experienced about 60 hurricanes since the 18th century. Now, to look at the wonder of nature, let's briefly look at the introduction to the topic. In some ethnic and cultural groups, nature is worshipped as a god or a manifestation of God. They include adherents of traditional African religions, Native American religions, Shintoism, Buddhism, Hinduism, Chinese folk religions, and so forth. As a result, in such societies, there is a strong reverence for nature since it is considered an intelligent entity capable of acting and reacting to stimuli generated by forces in the universe, be it humans or other creatures. Therefore, in such societies, people are educated and socialized to live and work with nature instead of trying to conquer or dominate it. Thus, the shamans, gurus, religious priests and priestesses, monks, psychics, sages, and elders in such societies insist and maintain that nature is a living, breathing, and all-seeing super-intelligence that must be respected. This view of nature is quite different from the scientific view. The scientific view seems to reduce nature to its physical, material attributes and disregards its intangible or non-physical qualities. Scientists tend to believe that if the laws of nature are carefully studied through systematic observation, experimentation, and analysis of data, the knowledge gained could result in human ability not only to tame the forces of nature, but also to dominate it in order to achieve human necessities. Thus, the non-scientific view of nature approaches it from a holistic point of view, while the scientific orientation focuses on the physical material quality based on understanding of the laws of nature. This is why scientists and engineers work tirelessly to build physical structures such as skyscrapers, dams, massive bridges, artificial islands in the middle of the sea, roads and water channels, robots, artificial intelligence, gigantic machines to dig soil, to mine minerals, cut down trees, and lift heavy loads, supercargo and cruise ships, and other physical superstructures in the world. They try to control weather through seeding of rain, engaging in massive industrial manufacturing of products that generate massive pollution, thereby destroying the ozone layer and causing climate change. Nature, being a superintelligence, often reacts to unnecessary human interference by unleashing forces beyond human control as a way of educating humanity to understand that it is a powerful force that cannot be tamed or dominated. Indeed, nature is a superintelligence that is beyond human control. It is capable of acting and reacting to create a balance in the world forcefully if necessary. Otherwise, how can anyone reasonably describe a climatological phenomenon that some people believe tends to repeat itself every 37 years? Now, let's look at the relationship between Jamaica and hurricanes. Jamaica, being a Caribbean island, has experienced several hurricanes going back to the past. To have a better understanding of the frequency of hurricanes making landfall in Jamaica, British colonial officials began to document and keep records of hurricane landfalls and their effects in the 18th century. British meteorologist William Reid and historians Brian Edwards and Edward Long corrected the records of observations about hurricanes on the island. Therefore, starting from the hurricane of August 28, 1712, Jamaica has encountered or experienced about 60 hurricanes. Some made direct landfalls while others did not do so, but still impacted the island. Let's look at the 37-year cycle of hurricane landfall in Jamaica. Although it is incredible that nature could pick 37-year periods to unleash massive destructive hurricanes on Jamaica, nevertheless, some people have hypothesized about such a possibility by citing the hurricane episodes in 1915, 1951, 1988, and 2025. It seems that the notion of a 37-year cycle in high category of hurricanes hitting Jamaica is not plausible since many factors contribute to producing hurricanes and influencing their intensity. Hence, climatologists and meteorologists explain that 1. Warm ocean temperature, 2. The El Nino Southern Oscillation, 3. Saharan air layer, and 4. Atmospheric steering currents contribute to produce hurricanes and the intensity of each episode of the storm. However, two cycles which demonstrate a pattern of reoccurrence of a high category of hurricanes making landfalls in Jamaica are the one between Hurricane Charlie in 1951 and Hurricane Gilbert in 1988, and the one between Hurricane Gilbert and Hurricane Melissa in 2025. The 1915 and 1951 cycle is 36 years, not 37. Moreover, there were other hurricanes which made landfalls in Jamaica in that period, including the 1916, 1917, and 1944, before the 1951 landfall. Consequently, the belief that a 37-year cycle of devastating hurricanes hitting Jamaica exists is not statistically significant. Hence, the 37-year occurrence between Hurricane Gilbert and Hurricane Melissa is generally considered by scientists to be coincidental. Since the hypothesis is not statistically supportable, the view of a 37-year cycle is based on anecdotal consideration of the 1915, 1951, 1988, and 2025 hurricanes. As indicated above, there is a strong evidence for the 1951, 1988, and 2025 37-year periods of strong hurricanes hitting Jamaica directly, while the 1915 to 1951 period is weak. Thus, if these 4 hurricanes are viewed in sequential order, they show a cyclical pattern that ranges from 36 years to 37 years gap in between each occurrence. Since some observers have hypothesized that since 1915, nature has developed a pattern of unleashing massive and devastating hurricane landfalls in Jamaica every 37-year period, it might be necessary to show the periods here. So you have 1, 1915, 2, 1951, 3, 1988, 4, 2025. So let's go through them one by one. 1. 1915 super hurricane. The name is unknown. The size of the hurricane was category 2. The wind speed was 105 miles per hour. Date of landfall, August 12-13, 1915. Fatalities, about 15 people. Landfall location, the eye of the hurricane passed through Buff Bay in St. Mary Parish. 2. The 1951 super hurricane Charlie. Name of hurricane, Hurricane Charlie. Size of the hurricane, category 3. Wind speed, about 125 miles. Date of landfall, August 17, 1951. Fatalities, about 152 dead and 25,000 displaced. Landfall location, around Kingston. Damages, widespread. Financial cost, about $50 to $75 million. These are pictures of some of the damages of Hurricane Charlie. 3. 1988 super hurricane Gilbert. Name of hurricane, Hurricane Gilbert. Size of the hurricane, category 4. Wind speed, 75 miles per hour to 127 miles per hour. Date of landfall, September 12, 1988. Fatalities, 50 deaths and hundreds injured. Landfall location, near Kingston. Damages, more than 100,000 houses were destroyed. Financial cost, about $2 to $4 billion. Some estimate put it at 1 billion. So the financial cost varies. So it could be 1 to 2 billion or 2 to 4 billion dollars. These are pictures of the destruction that Hurricane Gilbert inflicted on Jamaica. 4. Super Hurricane Melissa. Size of the hurricane, category 5, one of the strongest hurricanes that have ever occurred in the world. Wind speed, about 185 miles per hour, sustained wind. Date of landfall, October 28, 2025. Fatalities currently about 19. Location of landfall: New Hope, St. Elizabeth Parish. Damage: massive destruction, especially in the Black River area. Financial cost: it is estimated at about $1 to $3 billion. This is a picture of Hurricane Melissa. This is a picture of the destruction that the hurricane inflicted on October 28th. This is another picture of the massive destruction, probably in the Black River region of the country. Summary. 1. In closely analyzing the unknown hurricane of 1915, Hurricane Charlie of 1951, Hurricane Gilbert of 1988, and Hurricane Melissa of 2025, it is apparent that the size, tempo, and velocity have been increasing as hurricanes make landfall in Jamaica. Hence, the hurricane of 1915 was Category 2, Hurricane Charlie was Category 3, Hurricane Gilbert was Category 4, and Hurricane Melissa is Category 5. This implies that as humans interact negatively to offset the balance, nature reacts more massively and violently in proportion to the destruction that people inflict on it. That is why the categories keep increasing. Two, while statistically it is insignificant to say that there is a 37-year cycle in powerful hurricanes making landfall in Jamaica, nevertheless, the periods between 1951, 1988, and 2025 show a pattern of a 37-year cycle. 3. It is necessary for Jamaicans and interested observers to pay attention to the possibility that it could happen again, even though climatic events often occur based on unique circumstances. Why? Because ancient people were very wise in meticulously studying and observing the behavior of animals, events, and phenomena in determining the possibility of unpredictable events. It is the case that in the past, especially among rural communities, the people relied on the meticulous observation of the animals and events around them to predict earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Even today, many communities in the world rely on the study and observation of events and animals around them to predict possible danger. For instance, it was widely reported that before the tsunami of 2004 struck, the Moken people who inhabit the riverine areas around Myanmar, Malaysia, and Thailand noticed the sudden disappearance of animals around them to know that something terrible was about to happen. They warned their members who ran away before the tsunami struck. Hence, none of them died from the tsunami. Likewise, in India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand, the elephants, birds, buffaloes, and other animals sensed the danger and fled, thereby alerting the villagers to flee and save themselves from the destructive tsunami. Thus, even though scientifically there is no evidence to support the 37-year cycle of powerful hurricanes making landfalls in Jamaica, nonetheless, it is necessary to pay attention to the view as a way to prepare for the future. Recommendations. While it is difficult to accept the hypothesis of the 37-year cycle of hurricanes making direct landfall in Jamaica, Hurricane Charlie in 1951, Hurricane Gilbert in 1988, and Hurricane Melissa on October 28, 2025 made landfalls in the country at exactly 37 years intervals to show a pattern, even though Hurricane Beryl did not meet the 37-year mark. Regardless, the following recommendations are made. 1. It is necessary for humanity to pay attention to nature. It has a way of communicating to express its intentions, desires, and feelings. 2. Human beings must forego the view that they can use science and technology to tame and dominate nature, because it will always react to create a balance in the universe when humans go astray and assume that they are the alpha and omega. 3. As can be seen, as human beings engage in massive attempt to alter and interfere with the natural environment by building structures that inhibit the flow of water and air, altering waterways, destroying forests, massively polluting the atmosphere with chemicals, overfishing in the seas, and depleting the ozone layer, nature reacts by increasing the tempo and velocity of its forces, including frequent heat waves, huge firestorms, deluge of rainfalls and flash floods, winter storms, mudslides, and devastating hurricanes, tornadoes, and thunderous lightnings. 4. Modern humans should learn from ancient humans, shamans, religious priests and priestesses, sages, and elders about maintaining a balance on earth to ensure harmony of existence for all creatures in the universe. 5. Indeed, nature is a living and breathing entity. Hence, it is capable of sending a huge storm in every 37 years by aligning the atmospheric forces to direct hurricanes to make landfalls in any particular region of the world. 6. Human beings can learn a lot by carefully observing the way nature works, instead of assuming that science and technology will enable them to dominate nature. 7. Nature cannot be dominated or controlled because it is a force greater than human beings. 8. Indeed, climate change has resulted in nature reacting more forcefully to restore balance on Earth. This means that high-intensity hurricanes are going to be more frequent. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Please subscribe to the channel and listen to other very captivating presentations on different topics of human interest. Again, thank you very much for listening to this presentation. Please feel free to donate wherever you can to the people of Jamaica, because they've just experienced a very devastating hurricane